Why is 22 your unlucky number?
I just seem to have bad luck when there's a lot of those numbers around.
Can you give me an example?
Not really that I can think of right now. It just seems unlucky.
Do you not like the number 2 at all?
It's borderline. I like powers of 2. After all, 64, you know. 65, 536. 2097, 152. That's the highest I memorized up to. That's step 21.
So do you try to avoid 22s?
Hmm?
Do you try to avoid the number 22?
As much as I can.
What about the 22nd date of each month? Are those always bad days?
Usually. They're not all bad, but 'cause sometimes they do end up with decent days. And what do you know, those vicious carnivorous things have gone berserk. They're so exciting, aren't they? They're so fuzzy. So vicious. So carnivorous. Which doesn't make much sense after all, because why would they eat a carrot?
They eat carrots?
Yeah. Those orange sticks, you know?
What's their favorite treat?
I actually don't know. But I think they get too many treats. Sister wakes up, Ma wakes up. They get treats then. Okay, well, you know, finally you're recording and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that the motherboard is otherwise loose, what I need to do is I need to get my new motherboard ready, so I have a static shielded bag to put it on. Of course, this I'll need to have to move out of the way for now. There. Junk out of the way. Yeah, okay. Sometimes they're idiot warnings, as I like calling them. Just don't get the sockets mixed up. Yep, I checked that before I even bought these things. And aren't these things so common? It's a circle, or CD. This has got the drivers and stuff on it. This is the cover that goes on your case where the things like your USB and your audio ports go to and all that other kind of stuff like that. That's where all that goes to. This isn't really important at the moment. Of course, manuals are very, very useful. It's always wise to read the manual. Of course, a lot of this seems to point to what the BIOS and things mean. And of course it's got so many multiple languages, which kind of throws things off too. One of these manuals though, it must be this one then. Identifying the motherboard revision. Of course, I'll have to look at it when I get into there. Of course, I don't need to be grounded all the time for reading the manual. Let's see. Copyright 2011. Wow, this is really recent. Okay, that's the layout. Block diagram. CPU cooler. The memory. PCI Express X16, so that's that one. Okay, that's all the SATA cables, or all the SATA goes to. 6 of them? Wow, I didn't think there would be that many. Okay, that's the processor. That's the RAM. ATX 12 volt. Codec. Z68. Main BIOS, backup BIOS. There's the clear CMOS. That's the fan power. More USB. So it comes with 4 SATA cables. Optional items. That's the block diagram. Nope. CPU. Let's see. These are all the specifications here. Okay, installing the CPU. All that I pretty much already know. Okay. SATA cables. Of course, colors that match the motherboard itself. Even more SATA cables. What this is for, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what this is even for. And that is the motherboard itself. Whoa. Alright, what are you... Oh, I see. That's an interesting design. Yep, this is my new motherboard. This is where the CPU will go. Note this note thing on here. Yep, keep this on here at all times unless you're installing a CPU. And of course, when you take the CPU out, as if you're going to otherwise remove it for eventual sale, you'll want to put another one of these on immediately after you take care of the CPU. That way you'll protect the pins. That's an absolute must. That's the PCI Express times 16. According to the manual, this is a times 4. These are IDE. I need one of them for my sound card. This little circular thing here is the battery. That's what keeps the clock going at all times, even when the computer is off. Because otherwise, if you turn your computer off repeatedly enough and leave it off long enough, your clock will be so much out of date, it'd be ridiculous. But yep, all this looks pretty much the same, despite being another 4 years further advanced or something like that. So, let's see here. I need to come up with a plan on what I need to do here. The cables I can ignore, the data, the driver disk I can ignore, the memory I can ignore for now, the processor I can ignore. I have to swap the motherboards. So the only thing I can do is swap the motherboards. So that's what I'm going to have to end up doing. But I need to figure something out here. I need to get this thing ready. But how am I going to swap this with that? I wonder if I have a spare static shielded bag around here somewhere. Yep, I want to look for a static shielded bag. I think I had one in here. Figured it's already got a motherboard on it. It's already got a motherboard on it. But right now, let's see. It's really the only static shielded bag that I'm aware of. Of course, it's a little dusty, but it'll have to do for now, I guess. It's only temporary. Okay, make sure I'm grounded again. Use my foot to constantly touch the power supply, so I'm always grounded. Let's see. Need to think of something here. Got these cables I need to move out of the way. Wonder. I'll see if I can leave that on. Nice and gentle. Move your cord. Okay, very stable. Excellent. Now, to get this one in. Now, so there's a piece of tape here. Little piece of tape. Tape can sometimes get a little annoying at times. Wrong direction. Let's get this out here very gently so I don't break it or damage it. There we go. And of course you got to rotate it 180. Yeah. Put it back on my bag here. There we go. Watch the speed too. And then of course I'm going to have to disconnect this because those wires are just going to interfere. I can see that coming. Route this through here temporarily. So this way it's out of the way. Now go for it. Be very gentle and very careful. Okay, there's that part. Oh! Whoops, there's something I omitted. This part goes on my previous motherboard. And let's see, where was... It's right here. Okay. I'll need this at some point. Oops. This is otherwise pretty easy to get on. Otherwise, 3x USB power? Wonder what that means. 3x. Wonder if that means triple the speed. Where do I got that? Oh yeah, I got it in reverse. I see. That side popped in. I need to move my motherboard out of the way. But I really can't because I don't have any space for it. Oh boy. Come on, why aren't you getting in there? Okay, seat that onto there. It's only going in on some sides. There's gotta be a way of doing this. But okay, that's in there, right? Good. But why isn't this coming in all the way? Doesn't seem to be in all the way yet. There it finally goes. Good boy. Finally got that thing in there. So now I just need to line this up. Line this up with both the holes. Something is odd here. Oh, sure. Let's see what the problem is. Well, it's struggling just to get it in there, just so it would have to be rotated. That's what the problem is. Forgot to check that. Now I gotta fight this thing all over again. Make sure the wires aren't in the way. I wonder if that thing has something to do with it. Or maybe not. Okay, there's that. Now I can finally get my motherboard in there. What a stubborn thing that was. Yeah, this lines up so much better. Of course, this motherboard is bigger than my previous one. At least I chose a case that was both ATX and micro ATX compatible at the same time. Something is off here. Alright, where's one of the screw holes? There's one there. There's one there. So I can line up one of these screw holes. Is that all the accessories this thing came with? Well, I see 2 screw holes that I can screw into, so I'll use them. Of course, this thing didn't seem to come with any screws, which is rather interesting. It's everything in the box. But I'll just use the ones from my previous motherboard, I guess. And screwdriver. And guess what I need to find again?
Nick, I think it's under that yellow paper.
Oh. Thanks. I keep misplacing it. And okay. Okay. Get one screw started. This is the easiest one. Come on. Get one screw started, and then it's just a matter of rotating. So, get that started. Screw these screws down like before, except you don't want to go with too much force. Just keep screwing it in there until you start feeling a fair amount of force, and then go an extra quarter turn from when you notice that. That's usually what my method is. Another quarter turn, sometimes even a half turn. Oops, not those screws. So let's see. There's a screw hole, a screw hole. There's a lot of screw holes to choose from. Should probably go to a computer shop or something. But I need at least 4 screws in. At least 4. So far I only have 3. I usually prefer the 4 corners at the very minimum. Okay, there's the resistance. There's a quarter turn there. Don't confuse it with a oops, wrong way. Okay, there's that resistance. Quarter turn. And got one more screw hole right over here. I'll take it. The 4 corners, the bare minimum. Very, very small writing on the motherboard, but I can read it without any magnification needed. Why is this one in there crooked? Oh, I see. The hole's off center. It ain't gonna rotate too well. How much off center is it? It ain't off center at all, so what's going on? Well, that was weird. Okay, there's a resistance. Okay. Make sure these are all the ways good. Yep. Yeah, that one might be a little too tight. Since this one's a little too tight, reverse it some. Okay. Of course, I could put a screw here and a screw there at least. There are no. That's where the fan goes. So, yep, those are separate. There would be screw holes like here or here, but that would be for a micro ATX board. So I guess, let's see, processor next? Let me think here for a moment. Yep, I would have to say the processor would be next. And the processor goes right here. This is where the processor goes. However, oh boy, another one of these stubborn things. Thank you. Okay, that's how that thing comes off of there. This I'm going to leave on there yet, because I'm still not quite technically installing the CPU. So, this is that CPU. I do a lot of video processing, so I got a CPU that was very, very powerful. And I got something that was kind of proof too in a way as well. So I could probably extend the use of this for about another year or something. So that's why I got one that's completely unlocked, as this is any indication. Alright, where's the open spot? Yeah, this must be it right here. Gotta examine the box so I can figure out where it opens at. And inside almost any processor box, you will find 3 things. Well, 4 actually in a way. You'll get an instruction manual telling you how to install it. That's pretty obvious right there. You will get, let's see. Let's see, how does this come undone? Does it come out this way? No, it don't. Another stubbornly designed box. Whereas this is the heatsink and fan. This silvery part here is the heatsink. The fan, if you know what a fan is, you should be able to figure that out. It doesn't seem to rotate because it's on the wire right now. That'll ignore at the moment. This silvery stuff, that's that thermal grease I was telling you about a little bit ago. Definitely keep that on there. You definitely need that. These push pins can be a little frustrating to use, but once you get the hang of it, yeah. Foxconn. It's a brand of the fan. Socket H. Okay. That's 3 of the components. The last thing, why else would you get a processor? For this. This is the CPU. This is the brain of the computer. Of course, this is the back side of it, or actually the top side. These little gold spots here are the various pins. Do not touch those. When you're handling the CPU, only handle from the very edges. Only. The fan will come later, because you got to have the CPU on first. It kind of makes some obvious sense, doesn't it? So, let's see here. I need to come up with a plan here, re-ground myself again. And, since I'm now going to be installing a CPU, this protective cover now comes off. I don't know which way it opens. Okay. Be very, very gentle with the processor. And I mean very gentle. Now, what I usually do is I closely match the shapes. Okay. The arrow points to that. Okay. Where's those high spots at? Ah, no. Is it going like this? No. Okay. There's those two high spots, so it's got to go like this, but then that doesn't match up. Oh, yes, it does. Very, very gentle. And I mean very gentle. Now, when installing the CPU, go straight down with it very, very gently. Just like that. That's how you install a CPU. It's very, very gentle, just like that. And then, this will otherwise get it on there. This will put let's see, how did that go again? And there you have it. Well, there's the brain of the computer. The next step is to get the CPU fan on there. And this orientation, in this case, actually shouldn't matter too much. As long as all the pins line up, but you should otherwise be fine. Let's see. I don't remember which is which, for which is lock and which is unlock. Make sure they're all in the unlock. Okay. Line the pins with the holes very carefully. Just like that. And now, push on both sides until you hear that click. Okay, that'll make sure that should be in there. Of course, jiggle it around a little bit just to make sure it's very stable. It is. So now, to make sure the fan can work, route this CPU cable away. And let's see, which one of these? Since I don't know which one of these areas is the CPU fan plug-in, I need to reference the manual. When in doubt, check the manual. Very, very useful. And in here there's a diagram that shows exactly where the CPU fan plug-in is. Okay, that's the CPU fan right there. Yep, right there. Of course, it's also marked right there. So this, line up the slots, should plug in, how free is this? It's kind of a little close there, but yeah, there's, nope, it's grinding on the wire right there. That I can foresee will be a problem. It's always wise to check things like that too, because you never know. Put this away. And this will provide the power for the CPU fan. Still kind of grinding on that. There we go. Make sure that's loose. Yeah, it should be nice and loose just like this. Because otherwise you'll damage the wire and your CPU fan will short out. And that's a definite no-no. Okay, there's that part. Now, let's see. Of course, all the power stuff I usually do almost until the very end. Almost. Let's see. What is that? And that's my old one, so I can ignore that. This RAM I will eventually be replacing in the near future. Probably August or September. But right now this is just temporary because I ran out of funds, but I had no choice but to replace my RAM. So, I just got some RAM. Cheap stuff, but it'll do for the short term anyway. So, let's see, which one of these? I don't think it matters too much, but I want to check to make sure. Yep, so this will be the primary bit, apparently. It's DDR3_1. Of course, this motherboard supports 32 gigs of RAM, but with a 32-bit operating system, I can only... technically, it's an absolute maximum of 4 gigs that I can use. Oh boy, what are you stuck in here for? Figures I got another thing that's stuck. Thank you. Okay, and RAM is installed pretty much in the reverse process of the uninstall. Make sure the pins line up, or that notch anyway. Okay. There's the new RAM. Let's see, what's next? Got the motherboard, the CPU, the fan. I got this thing, although this isn't 100% finished yet. So that's in the for later bin. Need to reference that diagram yet again. PCI 1's this one right there. So it's the furthest from the edge. Okay. Guess I'll get my sound card in. Rather dusty. Probably get some of that canned air or something so I can de-dust it, if you know what I mean. And, yep, that's going to be a problem there. I need to pull one of these things off of here, although I don't remember how it was done. Alright, how's this case designed again? Let's see, I need this one, actually. No, that ain't it. Okay, spare these because I might need them later. Upside down. So how did had this problem before with the sound card. Yeah. I don't know why the sound card's got so long of a gold tail there or whatever that is. But it's causing problems. Because I can't get into that. And if I do line it up for the hole, it's partially out of the pins. Well, that's about as good as that's going to get. So, I don't know what that goes to. And where did I see that screwdriver again? I just saw it. Okay, that is not it. You see the screwdriver anywhere? Because I don't, again. Oh, there it is. Boy, sometimes I can be so stubborn. It's like, why doesn't this come in? It's either going to make partial contact, or I'm not going to be able to mount it. What are you supposed to do? You remember what you're supposed to do?
Hmm?
Well, if you look here, you'll know what I mean. Oh,
What's up?
yeah. Because I can't get the sound card in here without either having the pins like this or not being able to mount it. I don't know what's going on, but I've had this trouble before. Because in order for me to line it up with these screws here, I have to pull it out like this, and now I can otherwise mount it like this. Trouble is, it's not all the way in.
I would say it's more important to get it all the way in.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Hey, can you push the case in at all?
Not too well. No, you can't get it in. Yeah, that's about as good as it's really gonna get. I had that same problem before. I don't know why the sound card's like that, but it's weird. So, I guess in this case, the next step would be the video card. This thing's just bulky. That's its only problem. Wonder what this thing is. Oh. Yeah. I gotta watch the wires. I don't remember where that... Yeah, this is it right here. Reconnect the case fan so I get these wires out of the way. And here we go with attempt 2 with this thing. Good depth perception helps a lot. Okay, so get a mounting screw readied. Okay, it's like it almost doesn't even have to get screwed in. That's interesting. As long as it anchors it, that's all that should be necessary. Front USB. What's this? That's SATA. That's a power. It's power for down there. The case. Which one is this? Speaker. That's the beep beep this thing does. Useful for the post. Okay, let's see. What is this connected to? Nothing. Okay, that's nice. So, since I've otherwise got everything hooked up, now the only thing left is basically hooking up the power. Okay. Let's see, square, round. Yep, it's got to go this way. Okay. This big cable, let's see, I know it can only go on one way. Let's see. Square, square, get enough matching points. Okay. There's the 24-pin connector. Okay. $13.94. What is this? HD audio. And I don't know what this one is either. I need to look at what some of these cables are. Okay, get these available. PCIe. I don't even know what this thing is for. Video card doesn't take it, so I don't get it. Untangle some wires while I'm at it. Free up both hands. Okay, yep, that's gotta be for the alright, which one of these? I got this in reverse or something? Yeah, figures. Alright. Ah, yeah, hit it the right way. There we go. I was just hitting a snag or something. Okay, and that's the SATA. Let's see. That's just from that hard drive, but I can always use a different SATA cable if I have to. Of course, I got plenty of SATA cables. I've got red ones as well. And I want to know, and it's often marked on here. That's front USB. Don't see it, so it must be the part that's covered. Well, I'm in doubt, so check the manual.
Okay, because we've got 2 minutes left on the tape.
Okay. Yep, that's what I thought. That part with that cover over it is the SATA. With M SATA slot? What is that? I don't see an M SATA, so I don't get it. How much time you got left?
About 45 seconds.
Okay. But that is weird. Oh, I get it. Comes from the side. Hey boy, let's see here. That is a weird design, I'll tell you. Yep, very weird design. That's the first time I've seen them off the side like that.